We'd like to welcome you to BeMoreNews.com, the news before the news, where we uncover the truth here in the heart of East Baltimore, Fort Worthington Elementary School with the one and only Delegate Cheryl Glen. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Donnie.
First of all, was this a good community meeting? First one post-legislative session 2010?
Well, this is not my first meeting.
But I mean here in Fort Worthington.
Oh, yes. It was a wonderful meeting, but it always is. Miss Giles is the president, and she runs an awesome show. You know, she's a senior citizen, but she's still active and engaged. And as you can see, most of the turnout is seniors. They are seniors, I'm sorry. And it's always like this. Fort Worthington is the second highest voting precinct in the whole 45th district.
Okay. How was your legislative session this year?
My session, I always say my session is wonderful because God grants me the opportunity to serve and deliver back to the people, and that's what I do. My reason for being there is all about what I can do to improve the working life, the working conditions, the day-to-day life, the quality of life, jobs, businesses, etc.
What specifically this year?
Well, this year I was very pleased to get a piece of legislation passed that helps victims of domestic violence. Okay. It was my bill. The Lieutenant Governor and I worked very, very hard on that bill, and what it does, it allows victims of domestic violence and sexual assault with a final protective order or peace order to be able to terminate their lease early without any repercussions from their property owners. That was very difficult to get through because we had to have the support of the property owners throughout the state of Maryland.
Okay. What about in terms of education?
Well, you know, the partially like the school board bill was my baby, and it goes back. This bill has been around for well over 20 years, so it precedes my time. I find it unconscionable that we could allow the CEO, Dr. Alonzo, to be able to say, if the bill passes, I'm leaving, and therefore my colleagues didn't support the bill. I said to Dr. Alonzo, what's wrong with having at least two people elected by the constituents to serve? And the bill was only to put the question on the ballot in the November election, to let the people decide whether or not they want to have a couple of members on the school board who are elected by them.
All I know is word got back uptown. I think it was WOLB 1010 AM and the whole Larry Young morning show. They were heavily focused on it. I remember bringing a particular delegate on my show, and Doc Cheatham interviewed this particular delegate and asked him whether or not, you know, who did he work for? And this particular delegate said that he works for to stay in line with the governor's wishes and the mayor's wishes. And then Doc Cheatham asked him, well, who elected you?
Exactly. We are not, and I say that every day, we are not appointed to our positions. We are elected by our constituents to do what's best for our constituents. We try to support the leadership, the governor, the speaker, the president of the Senate, etc. But there are times when we must deviate from their wishes. I've done it many times, and I'm a freshman delegate. But I say to people, you can't take my integrity. You can have the position, but you can't take my integrity. That comes first and foremost.
Any final thoughts?
Oh yes, it's an honor and a privilege to be elected to the House of Delegates. I really want my constituents to send me back. There's much more work to do, and I'm a grassroots delegate. There's nothing private about me. You can call 411 and get my information. I have one house. I live where I say I live. There's nothing questionable about Delegate Cheryl Glen.
We love you. How can people, you say call 411?
You call 411, but my home phone number is 410-488-0540. My office in Annapolis is 410-841-3257. And my district office on Bel Air Avenue and Urban Avenue is 410-563-0228. But don't hesitate to call me at home anytime.
Thank you very much for your time.
You're very welcome. God bless you.
God bless you. Keep watching BeMoreNews.com, the news before the news, where we uncover the truth.